So, I'm gonna talk about what I've learned, what I've changed about the technique I use, what I've changed about maybe some habits or what the results are about my lucid dreaming stuff and my journey, right? So, firstly, I'm gonna quickly sum up what I already had, because it maybe wasn't that clear in the first episode because they went kind of in detail and stuff. So maybe some of you weren't, didn't really get it, or maybe I didn't say something, or I forgot, right? I don't know. It might. So basically, what you do from a previous technique, it's still gonna be quite the same, but I'm just gonna add a couple of things and change a couple of things. So, when you wake up, in the middle of the night, or just when you wake up and you go, make you ready for work or so. Just every time you wake up, you're like, okay, I look around. Okay, wait, do a reality check. So maybe count your fingers. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push your finger to your palm, right, like that. It doesn't work right now because I don't think I am streaming. I might. Maybe you are. Check your hands right now. But yeah, you just do that and you meditate. In the morning, I do it after like a half hour as I wake up. But now it's gonna change because I'm gonna wake up a little bit early. But that you didn't particularly know that. So yeah, you do that in the morning to really make you focused and be like, okay, yeah, I'm actually awake and no, it's not a dream. And of course, you write your dream down after you woke up. But if you wake up in the middle of the night, you should see your clock and then stay awake for 10, maybe 15 minutes is be nice for me. To kind of get your alert system up to get your rational thought system back up again. Okay. And that's what you do. That's what you do when you wake up. And then just during the day, you're doing reality checks. I hope you do a ton of them, as much as possible, really. But yeah, I think the first 3/4 of the week I have done way more reality checks because I was a little bit off focus at the end of the week. But I still did a couple of them, right? At least 5, but maybe even 10. So you can do more as that. Before that it was like 20, maybe even 30. So like do a lot of reality checks. Then when you go to sleep, right? You meditate. I don't care when you meditate. It can be an half hour before you go to sleep, maybe right before you go to sleep. I meditate a half hour before, so I meditate for like 10-15 minutes, right? So then I have like 15 minutes more to do something else, which I will show you guys, which I will show you a little bit. And when you go to sleep, you again look around, you do again the reality check. So the reality check is the last thing you do before you go to before you actually sleep, and then you just try to go to sleep as fast as possible, really. You could do the mild technique then when you try to go to sleep. So every time you go to sleep, you remember the last stream you were with time, or if something else is more relevant than the last stream, you can choose that. So if something really big is happening, like my garden, for example, right? Maybe choose that because you're more likely to dream from that than your last stream, maybe. But can just choose that, and then just visualize yourself doing that dream over again, or remaking a new dream, and then just becoming actually lucid, but just in your head, right? And then why you do it is basically to prepare your mind again for a dream that kind of is similar, right? And you try to do that way. But now the things I've changed. So I have added an affirmation. I started doing it about every other day or every 3 days, but now I'm trying to do it every day or every 2 days. Like, you know, so I'm trying to do it every day, but sometimes every 2 days. But I just write down I'm a lucid dreamer, but of course I'm Dutch, so I write it in Dutch. But if you're maybe Spanish, you write it in Spanish, right? Or if you're just English, just, you know, I think it's the best if you write it in your language. But yeah, you can choose. Really, you can choose. But I just write down 10 times I'm a lucid dreamer, like really right before I go to bed. And yeah, then, you know, I don't know if you know how an affirmation works, but because you think or you write something a lot of the time, you like, it's kind of like your subconscious thinks that you should be that or you should have that, but you don't have it, so your subconscious kind of tries to get it. You know, do your own research, of course, but I just think it's, you know, I have more chances if I do it, right? So I don't see why I shouldn't do it. So yeah, in total, I have wrote it down about 60 times in a week. So actually, or maybe not 1.5 weeks. So about every other day, and maybe, like, you know, yeah. And I've also changed, like, you can't, like, every time you wake up, stay awake for 10-15 minutes, because, you know what I mean, do it the first time. I think it's nice if you do it the first time, because then it's not like 5 a.m. or so, it's like 1 or 2, maybe 3 a.m. or so. So it's no, like, it's not like you're about to, like, you finish your sleep cycle in an hour or so. You still have a ton of more sleep cycle time left. I think it just, you do it once every night, and then I think it's just gonna be nice, right? So that's what I have changed, right? That's what I have changed. And now I'm gonna share you the results I have been getting in my dream journal. I haven't had a lucid dream though, but I can assure you, I can write down a ton more dreams every single night. So I'm gonna go over them of how much I wrote. I wrote it down now. Yeah. So on the first day, so I think I already said that in the first episode, but I'm just gonna repeat it. On the first day, I had two dreams. The second day, I had just one. The third day, I had 4. I remembered 4 of them in one night. 1, 2, 3. So on the fourth day, I had 2. On the fifth day, I had 2 again. The sixth day, I had 2 again. The seventh day, I had 2. And then one day I just hadn't any. I didn't remember any dreams. Maybe I was tired or so. I just didn't. So then on the 9th day, I had 3 again. So today, this night, I had 3. I remembered 3 of them. So I think it kind of shows what kind of progress you can very quickly make. And you know, of course, I already had the first 9 or so 2 dreams that I could remember, but it went up to 3 in a week and a half. So every week and a half, you can remember 1 more dream. I mean, you know what I mean? Now, of course, you're not gonna remember 8 dreams, but you're probably going to be able to remember like 5 or so a night, or maybe even 6 on some days at the max. Maybe even at the max like 8, really. Maybe at the, if you're very good, 8 every single day. But at that point, you're probably already lucid dreaming, right? So, I think it's going pretty damn fine. And I hope, if you didn't start it yet, I hope that you can start with this new and maybe even better guide. Because the last one maybe was a little bit, there were no affirmations, it was a little bit more tiring because you need to do it every single time you woke up and stuff. So yeah, I think this is even better if you start right now. But if you are already following with the previous guide, just implement this. It's not that different. I made it up myself. But yeah, because I thought it was even better and less chance to just hop out and have more chance to actually get a lucid dream. So, I thought to share this with you, and I hope you think it's worthwhile. The next episode is probably gonna be about the the next chapter of the book I'm reading, and that's about sleep. So very exciting stuff, and you're gonna learn quite a lot about sleep. I didn't know actually. There's one particular thing I didn't know. Of course, there were some shocking stats, but one thing I really didn't know, and I think it's worth sharing with you. But that's for tomorrow or the day afterwards. I think tomorrow. But that's for tomorrow, right? So remember, keep learning.